Hey, welcome back to Advice from the Road. We're going to talk today about a question that somebody asked me. He said, "Hey, I've got this house that I want to buy. It's a second house. They were lucky enough to be able to get a second home. I've got some. I could pay cash for it, but I could also borrow for it. Which one should I do?" And so we looked at their situation, and I said, "You know what? The interest rate on this loan is pretty low. What you're earning on your investments is a little bit higher than that, but more importantly, if you pay all cash for this house, how do you get the money out of it if you have an emergency?" They said, "Well, I could sell the house." Well, could you sell the house? And could you get what you wanted for it? Or would the sellers know that you're in a pinch and it's an emergency and you need to get rid of it as fast as possible, so they're going to lowball you and not give you what you need? Not to mention, it's going to take you 45 to 60 days to sell that house and get the money out of it. Well, I could get a home equity loan. Yeah, you could, but again, are you going to get the value out of it? It depends on what time you get it, what's the real estate market like, and so forth. So when it comes to the question of should I borrow, take out a mortgage and borrow money from the bank and use the bank's money or use my money if I could, I tend to lean towards using the bank's money for something like that, because you're going to keep your powder dry, is what I like to call it, whenever you have cash on hand. If you borrow the money and you get into a pinch, and let's say you need to pay that off, you can go into your account, write a check, and pay it off. Or you can sell the property and just say, "Look, I just need to sell it for whatever, it's whatever it's worth, just so I can pay it off." May not be a fit for everybody. Consult with your other advisors, your accountant, your attorney, your realtor, your broker, all of them, all your other advisors. Make sure that that's the best fit for you. But for this particular client, that ended up being the better fit for them. They borrowed at a low interest rate. They kept their cash and their investments handy so that if an emergency arose, they could get to it, and it wasn't locked up in their house. Again, as an advisor, this is my professional opinion. Consult with your other advisors about your situation as well. But also when it comes to buying a home, just in general, it doesn't have to be a second home. I've never been a real big fan of putting a lot of money down either, because again, look at your situation. I know a lot of people want to save for this big down payment, put that into the home. They've got a low payment, they've got a great interest rate, they've got equity in the home, and they feel great. But they have no savings left. And if an emergency arises, they have no way to get that money out of the house unless they sell it or they borrow against the equity. So work with your mortgage broker, your realtor, your accountant, other advisors, your financial advisor. Have your banker run those numbers, run every possible scenario to see what you can afford, and leave yourself some wiggle room. Don't use up all of your savings. I wouldn't advise on using up all of your savings on a down payment and leaving yourself with nothing to fall back on. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure it probably didn't sit well with some of you, and if not, hey, I would love to hear some feedback on that. That's how I learn and how I get better. But if this resonates with you, please like it, share it, comment on it, share it with your friends and family and those that you love and care about, and we will help them as best we can. Thanks.